श्रीनिवासयति श्रेष्ठदया पात्रं गुणान्वितः कौशिकोऽनन्तरङ्गार्यः चिरं विजेतां भुवि यस्तात्मीयपरं वरप्रदगुरो वैराग्यभाग्यो रथो वेदान्तामृतसारवन्तमनघात् श्रीश्रीनिवासात् गुरोः श्रीशैलान्वयकौस्तुभस्थितनियं जयोनिधे श्रीनिधेः वन्दे साधुकटाक्षकेलिनिलयं श्रीकृष्णसतेशिकम् श्रीनारायण योगीन्द्रवरदारि कृपाश्रयं रङ्गेशपादघनतं श्रीनिवासमुनिं भजे व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकदातं तपोनिधिं पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् ऋषिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बत्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भगवद्वेषिणीं पदाम्भोरुहध्यानविध्वस्ता शेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहं यमुनेयं नमामि तम् यो नित्यमुच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तरितराणि तनाय मेने भगवतोऽस्य दैकसिन्धो रामानुजस्य शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि सर्वं श्री वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः. Offering my pranamams to all the Bhagavatas in this Goshti, I shall resume the next session. We are studying the most important part of Bhagavad Gita, where Bhashyakara establishes with innumerable Shruti and Smriti Pramanas the main aspects of which is already, he shows which is already present in the Vedas. It is not something new that he is establishing it. Everything is as told in the Shrutis. So Krishna was teaching Arjuna what is the knowledge that one has to gain. Three aspects were told. One is idam shariram kaunteya kshetramityabhidhiyate. Kshetra, which is sharira. Body also can be told in English, but sharira is a proper technical word because it is sharira means it has got a proper definition, that which is adheya, niyamya and sheshabhuta. Kshetra is sharira. Yoetadyo vetti tam prahu kshetragnya iti tadvidah. And there is a who knows it, who is a knower. The kshetra does not know, it is inert, prakriti, and kshetragnya is a knower, he is a jivatma. And Bhagavan continues further, kshetragnyam chapi mam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata. Kshetra kshetragnayor jnanam yattad jnanam matam mama. Kshetragnyam cha api, by that everything is madatmaka. Kshetram api madatmakam, kshetragnyam api madatmakam. So Bhagavan is the other reality that one has to know. Kshetra, kshetragnya and antaryami to both. These are the three aspects that one has to know as the basic realities. Sarvakshetreshu. So one cannot get a doubt, is it only with human bodies that we see, starting with devas, manushyas, everything that we see, sarvakshetreshu, in all the shariras that we see, veditrutvai kshetragnyam cha mam vidhi. One who is only of the form of knowing, that kshetragnya, know me as the kshetragnya, means I am not the jivatma itself, but I am the antaryami to jivatma. Madatmakam vidhi. Kshetragnyancha api iti api shabdat kshetram api mam vidhi iti uktam iti gamyate. So I am not only antaryami to jivatman, I am antaryami to the body also, kshetra also, the sharira also. यथा क्षेत्रम क्षेत्रज्ञ विशेषणतैक स्वभावतया तद अपृथक् सिद्धेः तत् सामानाधिकरण्येन एव निर्देश्यम्. A body cannot be addressed without the Jivatma. We always it is always seen as inseparably associated with a Kshetrajna, who is a knower, who is a Jivatma, and it is always addressed that Samanadhikaranyena, in coordination. In the same way, Tatha Kshetram Kshetrajnam cha Mad Visheshanateika Swabhavataya Mat Apratak Siddhehe Karanyena Eva Nirdeshyo Vidhi. So in the same way, know the Sharira, the Kshetra, and the Kshetrajna, the knower, Jivatma, both of them as Mad Visheshanataika Swabhavataya. They both can exist only as inseparable attributes to me. That is how. And Samanadhikaranyena Nirdeshyo means they are addressed in coordination with me. Idameva antaryamitaya sarvakshetrajnanam atmatvena avasthanam bhagavataha tat samanadhikaranyena vyapadesha hetu. Because Bhagavan is antaryami and is inseparably associated with these two, that is the reason why everything is addressed as Bhagavan only in coordination. Jyoti Imchi Vishnu means Vishnu itself, Jyoti itself is not Vishnu, Jyoti is Bhagavadatmaka. Vishnu is the antaryami to Jyoti, like that. Yat idam kshetra kshetrajnyoho viveka vishayam. Viveka vishaya means understanding the discriminatory characteristics of kshetra, kshetrajna and Bhagavan. Kshetra and kshetrajna being Bhagavadatmakas, having Bhagavan as the antaryami, the inner self. Madatmakatva vishayam cha jnanam uktam tadeva upadeyam jnanam iti mama matam. That is the one which one has to know essentially. That is the essential knowledge one has to know, acquire. And Kshetrajna are different and distinct from each other, and both these are subservient to Paramatman. So the knowledge which removes the moha or the delusion is the real knowledge of the nature of these two, as it is Yathatmik Jnana. And Kshetrajna denotes Jivatman, who is in the bound state here and is different from the body. From Bhagavan's point of view, Kshetrajna is Sharira to Bhagavan. Kshetrajnam is told in singular. That indicates the Jati, class of Jivas. That kind of usage is there in Shruti in many places. Gauhu means, Gamanaya means, it is not that a particular cow only has to be brought all the time in all the yugas. It is an animal belonging to that class. That's what it means. It is like that. That kind of usage is there in Shruti everywhere. Kshetrajnam means it is indicative of the class of Jivas. So a Jivatman's primary nature is that he is a knower in all kshetras. That is told in the Bhashya as Deva Manushya Sarva Kshetraishu. Mam Vidhi does not mean there is identity and that everything should be known as Bhagavan only. It is not in that way, but everything is having Bhagavan as the Antaryami Aikya. Deva also has Bhagavan as Antaryami or Atman. Manusha also has Antaryami. Everything has Bhagavan as the Antaryami. So Antaryami is one in all these kshetras, which are having also kshetrajnas. Antaryami is one. Everything is Bhagavadatmaka is the main message. That Antaryami Tattva is the main message of all the Upanishads. The aspect of kshetra being an attribute of kshetrajna, we can see directly. But what is not seen is that aspect of both kshetra and kshetrajna being visheshana or attribute of Bhagavan. That we cannot see. We can see that body is moving, so there must be some chetana inside. There must be a living entity inside, and body is moving. So body is existing as an attribute of being, can be seen, but one cannot see that both these are attributes to Bhagavan. This aspect is very important, and that is explained in great detail in Vedanta Sangraha by Bhashyakarar, and Sudarshana Suri gives a very detailed that what we see, that if somebody one argues that Bhagavad everything is not having Bhagavan as Atma because we don't see, that is called Anyatha Siddha. That means it cannot be established by inference or by just pratyaksha like that. So one has to resort to Shruti, which is Ananyatha Siddha, that everything is Bhagavadatmaka. So there is no Kshetrajna. We only perceive as we see here, we perceive Kshetrajna as independent, just as pot or cloth, etc. So how can the Samanadikaranya be in the primary sense, Mukhyartha? If that doubt arises, the answer is that the Visheshya is not Pratyaksha, who is Bhagavan. Visheshya, one who is qualified, is not seen directly. So for those, that knowledge has to be acquired only through Vedanta. Those who have not studied Vedanta, this aspect will not be known. That's why Bhashyakarar says, Vedanta Shravana Deva Vyutpattihi Puryate in Vedanta Sangraha. He makes a statement. The Vyutpatti, or what is the real meaning of the word, can be known only by studying Vedanta, that everything goes up to Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is present as Antaryami in everything. Bhagavat Sharirateika Swabhava Swarupataya. The Kshetra which is present as body of Jivatman is related to him only during the bound state, Baddha Avastha. The essential nature of both Kshetra and Kshetrajna is being Sharira to Paramatman in all the states, that is told here. So it is mutual interrelationship. That is, Kshetra and Kshetrajna cannot exist without Bhagavan. Devotees say the other way also. Thirumal say Alvar says, Naan unnai endri ilen kandai naranane. First he says that I cannot exist without you, O Narayana, I cannot exist without you. Ni ennai endri ilai also he says, you also cannot exist without me, he says. That is a devotee's, that is out of prema dasha, that is extreme prema, that bhakti, that Alvar is telling like that. Bhagavan can exist independently, but other Kshetra and Kshetrajna cannot exist. Bhagavan is also known as Ishvara because there is Ishitavya. So in that way, he has willed that everything should be eternal, Nitya, and that is why everything is Nitya. And so everything exists always. So Bhagavan, in that way, Bhagavan also is eternal. So that way both exist together. So it is ultimately interrelationship, not interdependence. So that is something which also is clear here. So even in the moksha state, Jivatma is dependent only on Paramatma. So Shruti says, Saswarat Bhavati. That is, he becomes a sovereign. He is a Swarat. Means it is with respect to karma. Karma Bharatantriya goes for him. But he is always Sheshabhuta to Bhagavan. Bhagavat Sheshataika Swarupa Swabhava. All the states, both Kshetra and Kshetrajna, to Bhagavan only. This is the knowledge, the ultimate knowledge which is to be acquired. This knowledge of difference in the Swarupa and Swabhava of Kshetra and Kshetrajna are having Bhagavan as the Antaryami. That is how. It does not mean that everything else is not knowledge at all. But that is not important for a mumukshu to know. What is most important for one who is desirous of liberation, this is the most important knowledge. That is Mama Matam. Bhagavan says, Mama Matam Sarvabhuta Suhrit. It is his opinion. And that is the Hitatama, Tyanda Hitatama to all mumukshus. That is how it is says. So having told that meaning of this shloka in line with the Shruti and Smriti Pramanas and as per the context, Bhashyakara now examines briefly the opinion of other commentators. Kechidahuhu starts. That means there are some who say thus. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi iti samanadhikaranena ekatvam avagamyate. So some say like this, that from the shloka where what is told as Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi, know me also as Kshetrajna, adhikaranyena ekatvam avagamyate. Know even the Kshetrajna as me only. This shloka, it shows identity. Identity only is only known through relation. Who is Bhashikarar, examines briefly and refutes other views. Shankaracharya's view, Bhaskaracharya's view, all these are included in this. Though he mainly examines the Advaitic point of view. Tatascha Ishwarasyaiva Sataha Ajnanat Kshetrajnatvam Iva Bhavati iti Abhipagantavyam. So it should be agreed, they say, that Ishwarasya eva Sataha, Ishvara only who is being present, Ajnanat, due to nations or avidya, ignorance, Kshetrajnatvam iva bhavati, as though has happened. That is what one should accept, he says. Ajnanat Kshetrajnatvam iva, because everybody has agreed that samsara is aupadika. Matas also have accepted that the bound state which is seen here is aupadika, due to some upadhi, some limiting adjunct. So they say it is due to maya, and some say it is due to a real upadhi which exists, Bhaskaracharya says, to karma. So there is some upadhi due to which samsara happens, is agreed by everyone. So even Kshetrajnatva is not there. It can happen due to dosha. Even if it is not there, it can happen due to some defect. But we say one entity cannot have opposite form at the same time, dosha as well as knowledge, both. But it can be superimposed, just as perceiving a rope as a serpent. That's what they say. When a rope is seen, perceived as a serpent, the dosha is superimposed on the reality. So abhipagantavyam, it has to be accepted just like that, because there is no other way, is the bhava. That is what they say, kechidahuhu. Tan nivrityarthaha cha ayam ekatvopadeshaha. And this teaching of identity, ekatvopadesha, is to eliminate that ignorance, is the view of others. Tan nivrityarthascha ayam ekatvopadeshaha means to remove the moha, the delusion of kshetrajnatva. This aikyopadesha is done, and it is for acquiring atma yathatma jnana, is accepted by everyone. So Bhashika that tan nivrityarthaha, so he is now putting the other views using certain words, and which will actually make more meaning when we talk about our own Siddhanta next. Tannivrityarthaha means everybody is propounding their own views in order to eliminate the dosha only. So the purpose is only that. Atmayathatmik jnana only can, that is accepted. Aptatama bhagavad upadeshena rajjuhu yesha na sarpaha iti aptopadeshena sarpatva brahma nivrittivat kshetrajnatva brahmo nivartate iti. So just as when a trusted person teaches an aptatama, the most trusted, so Bhagavan is the most trustworthy. In a normal case, when we confuse a rope for a serpent, somebody who is trustworthy comes and tells us that this is not a serpent, this is a rope. Then with that kind of a wrong knowledge goes away, and we will know that this is a rope only. If we know that somebody is not in the right mind and they come and tell us, we don't believe that. Whereas somebody who is trustworthy, aptopadesha, that Brahma goes off with that. In the same way, Aptatama Bhagavad Upadeshena. Aptatama, the most trustworthy Bhagavan, with his Upadesha, Kshetrajñatva Brahma Nivartate. That Kshetrajñatva Brahme, that is also a Brahme, they say. Thinking one himself as Kshetrajña will be removed through the teaching of Bhagavan, who is most trustworthy, they say. So Vasudeva, who is teaching, is Aptatama, dearest friend, most trustworthy. Cheating, etc. There is no Vipralambha, Pramada, there is no Brahma, there is no Asakti, etc. He is not unduly interested in teaching something wrong. He does not have any selfish interest in teaching something wrong. And he does not make accidental mistakes because he is Bhagavan. And he is not having wrong knowledge because he is Bhagavan. He is Shadgunyopeta. And he does not cheat. There is no defects of the nature of Vipralambha, Brahma, Pramada, and all these things. So there is no chances. So that is why, by this teaching, the Kshetrajñatva Brahma should get eliminated, is the view, their bhava. So this summarizes the view that they say that it is identity that is propounded here. And the knowledge of that you are not a Kshetrajña is told because to eliminate that dosha, nescience, which is existing, they say. So we are now Bhashyakarar asks questions them. Te prashtavyaha. They have to be asked like this. Ayam upadeshta Bhagavan Vasudevaha Parameshwaraha Kim Atma Yathatma Sakshatkarena Nivritta Ajnanaha Uta Na Iti. Those who opine thus, te prashtavyaha, need to be questioned like this. Ayam upadeshta, whether this teacher who is teaching here, Bhagavan, who is Bhagavan, is accepted by all. Vasudevaha is Vasudeva. Parameshwaraha is the supreme. Kim Atmayathatma Sakshatkarena Nivritta Ajnanaha. Has his ignorance got eliminated through direct perception of the nature of the self or not? Does he have Atma Sakshatkara, and because of that has his Ajnana got eliminated or not? That is the first question we ask. Prashtavyaha, Bhashyakarar starts showing the defects in other arguments. Upadeshta, if Krishna is also ignorant, he should also be a student like Arjuna. He cannot be a Upadeshtru or a teacher. So Bhashyakarar says Upadeshta, that is the word he uses. If he has to be a teacher, he cannot be ignorant. And Bhagavan, because he knows reality, only he is teaching others in order to remove their ignorance. Vasudevaha, the word indicates Antaryamitva. The meaning of word Vasudeva is explained in Vishnu Purana. Sarvatra asau samastancha vasati atreti vayataha tataha sa vasudeveti vidvadbhihi paripathyate. So Vasudeva, the meaning is that he lives everywhere as Antaryami. That is why he is called Sarvatra vasati iti Vasuhu. Everywhere he lives. That is why he is called Vasudeva. By this, only Veda is only known. Krishna calls himself Vasudeva Tanaya. One should understand that Paramatman only has manifested in that avatara. Parameshwaraha, according to what was said earlier, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Vivartya Vyaya Ishwaraha. So many times Krishna has declared, and his teaching here, he knows he is Ishwara and will teach the distinction between himself and the other jivas. So he is Parameshwara. So if he is teaching, does he have still the ignorance, or has he got his ignorance removed by Atmayathatma Sakshatkara is the question, first question. If the answer is that he has got his ignorance removed, Nivritta Ajnanaha Chet Nirvishesha Chinmatraika Swarupe Atmani Atadrupa Adhyasa Asambhavanaya Kauntayadi Veda Darshanam Tan Prati Upadeshadi Vyaparashchan Sambhavati. So this is Upadesha Anupapatti. If he has got his ignorance removed, or eliminated, then he knows that, according to their view, that Atma is Nirvishesha Chinmatraika Swarupa. That is, without any attributes, Nirvishesha, Chinmatra, pure consciousness, Eka Swarupa. That is the only nature. That is, it is pure consciousness without any attributes. So if Bhagavan has got that kind of a Sakshatkara, then Kaunteya and other things cannot be Bheda Darshana, cannot happen. Kaunteya the Bheda Darshanam, which is Atadrupa Adhyasa. That means if it is known that it is only Chinmatraika, Nirvishesha Chinmatraika Swarupa, then something which is different from that cannot be taught. It cannot exist. So if I know that everything is attributeless, pure consciousness, then I will know there cannot be any Bheda. So that is superimposition or anything cannot happen because this is reality. Then Kaunteya and other Bheda Darshana cannot happen. And one cannot teach also. Tan Prati Upadeshadi Vyaparaha, teaching, speaking and all those things cannot happen. Jana Sambhavati. So there will be no possibility of the superimposition of the self who is attributeless, the nature of only pure consciousness. On that one cannot superimpose what is not the self. So perceiving the duality in the form of Arjuna and others, involving in acts such as teaching and etc. cannot be possible. Atha Atma Sakshatkara Abhavat Anivritta Ajnanaha. In case if he is, then if you say that due to he has not perceived the real nature of the Atman, so his ignorance is not still eliminated, na tarhi ajnanadeva atma jnanopadesha sambhavaha. Because of that ignorance only, he is not eligible to teach Atma Jnana because he himself is ignorant. Because it is told in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says here, Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. It was told that the knowledgeable ones, jnaninaha, who have perceived the reality, tattvadarshinaha, will impart you the knowledge. Te jnanam upadekshanti. Perceive the reality. Only those people can teach the real knowledge. And they only can be called jnanis, knowledgeable ones. Ataha evamādivādaha shruti smriti itihasa purana nyaya svavag virodhaihi ajnanibihi jaganmohanaya pravartitaha iti anadaraniyaha. So Bhashyakarar makes a statement here. This kind of arguments, evamādivādaha, are not to be accepted as they are done with the purpose of causing delusion in this world, Jagan Mohanaya Pravartitaha, by the ignorant ones, Ajnanibihi, who have not thought through, Anakalita, who have not thought through and realized that it is opposed to what is taught in Shruti, Smriti, Itihasa, Purana, Nyaya, that is logic, Swavag Virodhaihi, in their own postulates also. It is opposed to all these, so it is not to be respected, not to be accepted with respect. Anadaraniyaha. So this is summarizing that the defects of the Evamadiva Adi, by Adi, Bhashyakara summarizes other views also. Arya and Yadava Prakasha and all these views are included. Veda, they say there is a real Upadhi and things like that. Bhaskara. Yadava Prakasha view is that all are Bhagavan only, Brahman only is true, is reality, and Brahman in its very real nature itself modifies into three, Chita, Achita, Ishvara, and things like that, and they all merge into him in the end. So Veda, Vada. These are all not to be accepted, is Bhashyakara's view, because they are opposed to Shruti, Smriti, Itihasa, Purana. They are all Upabrahmanas. Smriti, Itihasa, Purana, all are explaining the meanings of Shrutis. So they are all in line with the Shrutis. And also Nyaya. All these have to be supported with proper logic also. All these things, when we consider it, what they are propounding is against all these, so they should not be accepted, is the view. Now Bhashyakara starts, Atredam Tattvam. A typical way of Bhashyakara establishing the reality. After doing all the Mahapurva Paksha, everything, when he starts Mahasiddhanta, he starts Atredam Tattvam. Now I am going to establish the truth. The different types of Shruti Vakyas, and such as Veda, those declaring Veda, those declaring Aveda, with proper Pramana, with all the Shruti, Smriti, Pramanas. And in Shruti, there are different types of Vakyas, Veda, Aveda, those propounding Sharira, Shariri Bhava. How all are to be understood, contradiction, and giving importance to all of them. And they are supported by Smriti Vakyas. The nature of the reality is established in this part, starting with Atredam Tattvam. This is the truth. So Bhashyakara says this is the Tattva. This is not just what I am telling something new, but this is already established in the Shruti. So he takes directly all the Shruti Pramanas to establish this. Achidvastunaha chidvastunaha parasya brahmano bhogyatvena bhogtratvena cha Yishitratvena cha Swarupa Vivekamahu Kaschana Shrutayaha. So he examines the different types of Shruti Vakyas. To start with, he takes those Shruti Vakyas which propound very clearly the essential nature of Achidvastu, Chidvastu, and Parasya Brahmanaha. Parabrahman, Supreme Brahman. Achidvastu is the non-sentient substance. Vastu means it's a reality. It is not something mithya or imagined, etc. It is something which is existing in reality. Non-sentient, chidvastunaha, parasya brahmanaha, bhogyatvena. So achidvastu is established as the object of enjoyment. Chidvastunaha, that is bhogtratvena. Chetana is the bhokta. He is the one who enjoys. And Parasya Brahmanaha, the primary nature of Parasya Parabrahma is Ishitritvena, one who rules over everything. Chetana is also an object of enjoyment for Bhagavan. Bhagavan is an object of enjoyment for Chetana also, Jivatmas. But the primary nature of Bhagavan is being an enjoyer along with Ishitritva, being the ruler. Chetana does not have that Ishitritva. And Achidvastu does not have that Bhoktritva. Bhoktritva is enjoyership. Bhogyatva is being the object of enjoyment. Ishitritva is the rulership. So that is what the Shrutis establish very clearly, the Swarupa Vivekam, the discrimination in their essential nature is one is Bhogya, one is Bhoktri, other is Ishitritva. Ishvara has. Parabrahma has got Ishitritva. And what are those Shruti Vakyas from various Shrutis? Bhashyakara takes here. Asman Mayi Srijate Vishwametat Tasmimshchanyo Mayaya Sanniruddhaha. In Shvetashvatara Upanishad, which establishes Veda in most wonderful way. The Mayi, Asmat means from this Mayi, the Mayi, Vishwametat Srijate, he creates the entire world. Tasmimshcha, in that, Anyaha, one who is different, the other one, Niruddhaha, is bound by Maya. This is the statement of the Shruti. The meaning of Maya is not as told by others. They say, Ya Ma, Sa Maya. What is not there is Maya. Ya Ma, Sa Maya. But it is not like that. In Shrutis, Smriti, everywhere, Maya is used in different meanings. And it is here used in the sense of, there are two usages of the same word here, Maya. First, Mayi says, Ashcharya Cheshtita, one who is of most wonderful acts. Mayi, he is called. The omniscient, supreme Brahman. Asmat, Mayi. Asmat means from this Prakriti. Srijate Vishwametat. He creates this entire world. And Tasmimscha Anyaha, the other one who is the individual self, who is different from Brahman, is bound by that Prakriti. Mayayat. Second meaning of the usage of Maya is Prakriti here. Because the next Pramana Bhashyakara gives Mayantu Prakritim Vidyate Mayinantu Maheshwaram. It's very clearly told. So the meaning of Mayi and Maya is explained in the next statement. Mayantu Prakritim Vidyate Mayinantu Maheshwaram. So first one is the 9th mantra in Shvetashvatara Upanishad. The next one is the 10th mantra. After having made a usage of Mayi and Maya, what is that Maya and Maya is explained in the next mantra. Mayantu Prakritim Vidyat. Know this Maya as Prakriti and Mayinantu Maheshwaram. Know Mayi as Maheshwara. Mayinantu Maheshwaram. Ksharam Pradhanam Amritaksharam Haraha. And Mayinantu also means, Mayi means one who has Maya as his Sharira. As his Sharira, he is Sarveshwara, Maheshwara. Ksharam Pradhanam Amritaksharam Haraha. Ksharatmanau Ishate Devayekaha. Amritaksharam Haraha iti bhokta nirdishyate. Pradhanam bhogyattvena harati iti haraha. So here that is explained by Bhashyakara. Ksharam Pradhanam. Kshara is that which perishes. That is Pradhana, means Prakriti. It is subjected to modifications. It is Prakriti. Vikaraspada, that which perishes, that is called Prakriti. In the sense it undergoes change all the time. That is why it's called Kshara. And in its most subtle state, it is also eternal. But because it undergoes modification in its very essential nature, it is called Kshara. Amritaksharam Haraha. He is Amrita, one who is Amrita and known as Akshara, Amrita Aksharam, Haraha it is told. Haraha is used in also many senses. It is not Rudra, here it is Haraha means Pradhanam Bhogyattvena Harati iti Haraha. One who steals Pradhana, which is Prakriti, as an object of enjoyment for himself. He is called Haraha, he is Jivatma. He is Amrita, he is known as Akshara. Kshara Atmano Ishate Devayeka, because that is told very clearly afterwards. Kshara Atmano, this Kshara and this Atma both. Ishate, one who rules over, is Devayekaha, one Deva who rules over both these. Prakriti denoted by the word Kshara and the self who is called Akshara. The enjoyer is denoted as Amrita Aksharam Haraha here. Sakaranam Karanadhipadipaha Nachasya Kaschit Janita Nachadipaha. Very clearly it states Saha Karanam. He is the cause of this world, who is Paramapurusha, Parabrahma, who is Karana Adhipa Adhipaha. Karana is Indriyas. One who is the Lord of Karanadhipa is one who is the Lord of the Indriyas, who is Jivatma, the individual self. Karanadhipa Adhipaha, one who is the Lord of the individual self also, who is the Lord of the senses. He is the cause of this universe. Shruti declares, Nacha asya kaschit janita, there is no one who creates him or who is his cause. Nacha adhipaha, there is no one who is superior to him also. So here, Karanam, Karana, Adhipaha, Karanadipaha, Adhipaha. Karana is told as different. Karanadipa is told as different. Karanadipa, Adhipa is told as different. There are three distinct entities. He is very clear from that also. Pradhana Kshetrajna Patihi Guneshaha. Pradhana Kshetrajna Patihi. Here also distinction is told so clearly. Patihi is the master. Shrutis use the word Patihi for Sheshi, who is the master. And Pradhana Kshetrajna Patihi, he is the master of Pradhana, or the Prakriti, and Kshetrajna, who is the Jivatma. And he is the controller of Trigunas, Guneshaha, he is the Isha of Guna, Trigunas. He is called Patihi, who is Paramatma. Patim Vishwasya Atmeshwaram Shashwatam Shivamachyutam. Daitriya Narayana says, he is the master of the universe. Patim Vishwasya He is the Sheshi, Sarvasheshi. Atmeshwaram, the self of the entire world. Shashvatam Shivam Achyutam. He is the eternal, auspicious Achyuta. And there also again distinction is very clear. Shvetashvatara and Taittiriya Narayana, all these Upanishads, he picks some pramanas, Bhashikara here, which tell clearly that one is the Bhogya, one is the Bhoktri, and one is the Ishvara. That is the main. Those are the Shrutis picked here. Karanam Karanadipa Adipaha. Nachasya Kaschit Janita Nacha Adipa. So his Ishitritva is very clear. And Jivatma takes that as the Bhogya, Prakriti. Prakriti is the Bhogya. So the Bhogya, Bhokta, and Prerita. These are the things which are established here. Jna Ajnau Dvav Ajau Isha Nishau. Jna Ajnau Dvav Ajau Isha Anishau. One is omniscient, Jna, that is one is Sarvajna. Another is Ajna, he is ignorant. Dvau Ajau, two, the number two is also used here very clearly, that they are two different entities. One is the Sarvajna, one is Ajna. Ajau means both are eternal, they are not born, both. Isha, Anisha, one is the Ishvara who is the Lord, another is Anisha who is the subservient one. There also the distinction is clear, and Bhagavan's Ishitritva is very clear. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman. Nityaha Nityanam, this we saw even earlier, it has come. The Anvaya here has to be clearly understood. Nityaha Chetanaha Ekaha Bahunam Nityanam Chetananam Kamana Yaha Vidadhati. Yaha Yekaha Nityaha Chetanaha. One who is one, and Chetana is the conscious, the sentient one. Bahunam Nityanam Chetananam. Chetana Bahutva is told. The innumerable or the many eternal sentient ones, the individual selves. Kamana Vidadhati. Bestows the wants of many eternal sentients. The one eternal sentient self who bestows the wants of many eternal sentients. That is the meaning of that. So there it is told that they are different, they are many, individual selves are many and they are different. And Bhagavan is the one who bestows the wants of that, means he is the Ishvara, he is the controller, he is the Prerita. Bhokta Bhogyam Preritarancha Matva. Sarvam Proktam Tridam Brahmametat, it is told in Shvetashvatara. Having known the Jivatman who is the enjoyer, Bhokta, it's told very clearly here. Bhoktritvena, Ishitrutvena, what was told by Bhashikara, how Shruti is established. The Bhokta is the enjoyer. Bhogyam, the Prakriti, which is the object of enjoyment, and the Prerita, the impeller, or the controller, the ruler, is told very clearly. They are three, different and distinct. Prithag Atmanam Preritaram Cha Matva Jushtaha Tataha Tena Amritatvameti. Prithak Atmanam Preritaram Cha Matva. One who knows, having known the Jivatman and the Paramatman who is the impeller as different. Prithak. So they are different. One is Atma and other is Prerita. Jushtaha. Jut Priti Sevanayo. Jushtaha means being subjected to Bhagavan's grace. Bhagavan being pleased with him, he graces him. Tataha Tena Amritatvameti. Attains Amritatva, state of liberation, by Bhagavan's grace only. So he is the impeller, he is the controller. Is told. Prithakva is very clearly told here. Tayoho Anyaha Pipalam Swadu Atti Anashnan Anyaha Abhichakashiti. Tayoho Anyaha, one of them, that means Itaraha is the meaning here. The Jivatman experiences the fruit of karma. Swadu Pipalam Atti. Pipala fruit. Karma is told as Pipala fruit. Jivatma is enjoying that fruits of that karma as though it is most enjoyable. Swadu Atti. He is eating that. He is enjoying, experiencing the fruits of karma. Anyaha Anashnan Abhichakashiti. The other one, who is Paramatman, without eating, without having any of this, he is not a karma vashya. He is Abhichakashiti. He is shining forth. He shines forth without enjoying any fruit. That is told. So Anyaha is also told. There is clearly distinction between the two. That one is Karma Vashya, another is Karma Dhyaksha. That is also told. Ajamekam lohita shukla krishnam bhakvim prajam janayantim sarupam ajo hyeko jushamano nushete jahatyanam bhuktabhogam ajonyaha. This comes in Mahanarayana also, in Shvetashvatara Upanishad also. Ajam, Aja is na jayate. One is not born. The Aja, there are three Ajas told here. Ajamekam lohita shukla krishnam bhakvim prajam janayantim sarupam ajo hyekaha jushamanaha anushete jahati enam bhuktabhogam ajaha anyaha. Three Ajas are told here. The first Aja is in Strilinga, Ajam Ekam, that is Prakriti. Lohita Shukla Krishnam. Lohita Shukla Krishna means that is red, white and black. That is indicative of Rajas, Sattva and Tamas. Trigunatmaka Prakriti. Lohita Shukla Krishna. Trigunatmaka Prakriti. Bhakvim Prajam Sarupam Janayantim. Which is giving rise to or creating many beings of the same form, that is having Trigunatmaka, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, creates many beings having the same form as itself. Ajaha hi ekaha dushamanaha anushete. There is one more Aja who is the Jivatma, the bound self, the Baddha Jiva, enjoys lovingly. He is also unborn. Prakriti is also Aja, means unborn, eternal. Jivatma is unborn. And he is Jushamanaha Anushete. He lies with it, enjoying it as most enjoyable. Jushamanaha. Jahati enam bhuktabhogam anyaha ajaha. Anyaha ajaha enam bhuktabhogam enam jahati. There is one more Aja. Having enjoyed it, he leaves it, he renounces that. He is the Muktatma. So there are three Ajas told. One Aja is Srilinga, is Prakriti. And the other two Ajas are Baddha Jivas and Mukta Jiva. One who renounces it, having enjoyed it, he gives up. That is the other Aja. All are unborn, is told. So they are told very clearly as different and distinct. One is the Bhoktritva is told for Jivatma, and Bhogyatva is told for Prakriti. Bhogyatva, Bhoktritva, Ishitritva. That is what is being established in these Pramanas. Gauranadhyantavati sa janitri bhutabhavini. Gauhu means Prakriti here. Anadi antavati, adyanta rahitavati is the meaning. Anadyantavati means adi anta is not there. That is Prakriti, which is of the form of a Kamadhenu, a Gau, which has no beginning or end, nurtures being having created them. Janitri bhutabhavini. That is told. The Prakriti. Also is Anadi is told. Samane vrikshe purusho nimagnaha anishaya shochati mukhyamanaha justam yada pashyati anyamisham asya mahimanamiti vitashokaha ityadyaha. Samane vrikshe, in the same tree, which is the body, the sharira, purushaha nimagnaha, one who is dependent is immersed. Anishaya shochati, he is subjected to grief, being deluded by Prakriti. Mukhyamanaha. Anishaya, he is not independent. Experienced by everyone. We want to achieve something. We are helpless. It doesn't happen as we wish. So many times we wish so many things. We know that it does not happen. We have no control on those things, and we are utterly dependent on Paramatman. We are not totally independent, and we cannot achieve what we want without His grace. So Anishaya Shochati is always suffering because of that he is under the spell of karma due to his own enjoying the fruits of karma that was done earlier, and according to the rule of Paramatma. So Anishaya Shochati Mukhyamanaha, being deluded by Prakriti. Jushtam yada pashyati anyam yisham, the Ishvara who is the other one. When he perceives directly that Ishvara, pashyati, who is distinct from himself, anyam, and who is pleased, Jushtam, with his karmas, and Ishvara's greatness, Asya Mahimanam iti Vita Shokaha. It is all due to Bhagavan's greatness that I am graced. So when he does some upaya anushtana, bhajane, Bhagavan is pleased, and when he, with that upaya, when he perceives Paramatman, he, due to Bhagavan's greatness, he gets rid of his grief. Vita Shokaha, Asya Mahimanam iti Vita Shokaha. It is because of Bhagavan's grace only that I am getting rid of this, and he gets rid of all his griefs. So all these Shrutis declare unequivocally that Ishvara is different and distinct from the sentient Jivatmans and the non-sentient Prakriti. And there is mutual distinction between Prakriti and Purusha also. And Prakriti is Bhogya, Jivatman Purusha is Bhoktru, and then Paramatma is Ishita, he is the Ishvara. These are the three distinctive characteristics. Prakriti is only the object of enjoyment. Jivatman enjoys Prakriti, and Ishvara rules over both these. So that is how the distinction is told with so many Shruti Pramanas. So Atredam Tattvam, Bhashyakara starts, the reality is going to be established, answering all the objections that may arise. So Swami Deshika notes what kind of objections can arise. Several objections can be arise by others. Here they say that it is, if we say that there is Atyanta Veda, they say that the Purvapakshi says that you also cannot explain everything in line with Shruti. They say, because there are several things in the Shrutis which are apparently look like there is apparent contradiction, but contradiction, if you understand proper Vakyas, Bhashyakara shows. So if we say there is Atyanta Bheda between Bhagavan and the world, Shruti Vakyas which declare that Brahman only attained the state of the effect, Karyavastha, Brahman only became Karyavastha, here in name and form, Nama Rupe, Vyakaravani, and all he says. So if there is Atyanta Veda, they may be looking like contradicting. Against the declaration of Eka Vijnanena Sarva Vijnanam. If there is Atyanta Veda, knowing one, the other one cannot be known, because there is and distinct. How can one know everything by knowing one, which is totally different from it? Look like those Vakyas may be opposing or contradicting. Brahman is very different and distinct from the world. The material called the is what Swami Deshika is telling. Material cause, it cannot be very different from the material cause. It was told that Ekena Mritpindena Sarvam Nunmayam Vidya Vijnatam Syate. If you know that mud, you can make everything made out of mud. So if it is very different from mud, you cannot know. By knowing mud, how can you know gold? You cannot know it. Look like they may be contradicting. World start from Prakriti, Purusha and Ishvara, who are very different, or are they the cause being unified or being different or distinct? How are they the cause of this? If they are separately causes, Brahman cannot be the Ekakarana, the cause of creation. So all these objections can come, and if you agree that Brahman by nature is immutable, he is avikari, declaring Brahman itself transforms into the effect would be contradicting. If it was change, then Nirvikara Shruti cannot be explained. And if Brahman is always endowed with auspicious qualities, is always Saguna, Nirvikara Shrutis and the Shruti Vakyas which declare Brahman as mere consciousness, such as Vijnana Gana Eva, they may be contradicting. If Veda is accepted all the time, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma, all these things cannot be explained. Aveda Shrutis. So, they say, the Purvapakshi is that due to Apacheda Nyaya, Badhya Badhaka relation should be accepted among Shruti Vakyas. That is, there are some things which are Badhya, something which are Badhaka. That is, something which are which get stultified, some vakyas which stultify other vakyas. The Badaka. Badhya is one which is thrown out, which is stultified. Badaka is the one which throws out the other one. So due to apacheda nyaya, that is the most powerful one, will sustain in the end. That's what they say. So Saguna Vakyas are stultified by Nirguna Vakyas. So if you ask the question why it can't be other way, they say if it is Saguna Vakya, cannot stultify some Nirguna because some guna has to be there in the first place. Only then it can be said that it is not there. There can be Bade for that. So only Saguna Vakya has to come first, and Nirguna Vakya only can stultify those Saguna Vakyas. These are all the arguments given by Purva Pakshis. So all those objections are answered here with this Atredam Tattvam, where everywhere it told Gunesha, Pradhanava, Kshetrajnapatihi, Sakaranam, he is the only cause of this universe. Kshetra, Kshetrajna and Ishvara are different and distinct. One is Bhogya, one is Bhoktra, one is Ishvara. And then the Jivatma is bound and he can get released only with the grace of the Paramatman. So all these are different and distinct. They are all told very clearly. Now in future, after this, in the next section, Bhagavan, Bhashyakara examines some of the Smriti Vakyas and then takes up the different types of Shruti Vakyas, like those which propounding Abheda, Abheda, Sharira, Shariri Bhava, everything, and establishes very clearly the reality, nature of the reality. Atredam Tattvam, that is how Bhashyakara starts answering all these objections. Atra means in this aspect of searching for the right interpretations for Shrutis and Smritis without any contradiction. Atra idam tattva means when we are examining the meanings of all the Shrutis, Smriti Vakyas, Itihasa, Purana, Nyaya, everything without any contradiction. In this aspect of establishing the right meanings, idam means what is told now in line with the pramanas, that is the valid meanings, is tattvam. Tattva means that which is pramanika, which is established by pramanas. That is what is told. So the first he examines achidvastunaha, chidvastunascha, parasya brahmana, bhogyatvena, bhoktatvena, cha ishitrutvena cha, sarupa vivekamahu. Sarupa viveka is the difference in the nature of the three entities, and viveka denotes that which removes the wrong understanding or the Brahma. So Asman Mayi Sajate, here Asmat means the non-sentient, inert Prakriti undergoes modification in its essential nature itself. So the Panchami Vibhakti also shows that Asmat, by the word Anyaha, it can be known that Jiva is the other one, and not Brahman itself, which is having Jiva Bhava due to Upadhi. Anyaha very clearly says it is not the Brahman itself, which is the Upadhika in Jiva Bhava. It is very different one. And the order is also important. It's not that one is covered by Maya, that is attributed by Anyatva, but the Anya is covered by Maya. So Anyaha, Jivatma who is bound by Samsara, that is by Prakriti, is told like that. The Brahman which is covered by Avidya has become Anya is not told. The Anya is covered by Avidya, which is karma, we say, due to samsara. Sanniruddhaha, Maya. Sanniruddhaha means one whose sarvajñatva, niratishe anandatva are all not in complete, in full expanded form. That is, that avirbhava has not happened. That is the meaning of Sanniruddhaha. The word Maya used in a different sense by Purva Pakshi is not as per Shruti. Is told very clearly here. Maya antu pragritim vidyat. Maya is prakriti and not something which is mithya or something which does not exist. Jna, jnau, dvava, jau, ishanisho. The number 2 is stated very clearly, dvau, which tells that one is ajna, is kinchignatva, niyamyatva, etc. of the kshetrajna, and sarvajñatva, niyamakatva, vishwara, and also states they are both ajas. For a kshetrajna, there is extreme ignorance during the states of Sushupti, Marana, Murcha, and Pralaya. These are the 4 states in which he is Atyanta Ajna. In Sushupti, he does not know anything. During Marana, he does not know anything. During Murcha state, he does not know, unconscious state. During Pralaya also, he is not knowing anything. There is Atyanta Ajñatva there. And during Jagrada Avastha, when he is awake, and Swapna Avastha, in the state of dream, the knowledge is limited to only few aspects. But Ishvara's jnana is not like that. Jnaha, he is told as Sarvajna, Sarvavit, etc. And so all these are Nityo Nityanam. It establishes the Atma Bahutva, Nityatva, and Ishvara's Niyamakatva. Tayor Anyaha Pippalam Swaduvati. Tayor Anyaha means Tayor Ekaha. Two of them have entered the same body. One is enjoying the fruits of karma, other does not. So they have different attributes, very different attributes. One is bound, other is the one who is the controller, is known from this. So these are all some of the Shruti Vakyas. There are innumerable Vakyas like this, but Bhashyakara picks the most important ones, which directly say without any contradiction or without any confusion that this is the Tattva. So he starts examining that. And now further he goes to examine Atrapi, means even in this Bhagavad Gita Shastra, how it is told, Ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritirashtada. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhime param jiva bhutam. That is apara prakriti, how it is told. All those things are different. Even in the Gita Shastra, Sarvabhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam. So these are all the pramanas which he picks from the Gita Shastra and examines that and goes further into the different types of Shruti Vakya. So this part is a very detailed Bhashya which we will examine in detail. I think we have come to end of this session, and with that I'll conclude today's session and offer my pranamams to all the Bhagavatas in this satsanga. I shall leave the class for any questions if there are any. From Sri Krishna Arpanamastu, rAmAnuja Namaha. So if there are no questions, we shall conclude today's session. rAmAnuja Namaha.